I think it's generally been getting better and better as Riccardo and I have been working together. He's been doing a great job. I think particularly the last race I think was great.
Lewis Hamilton, after a turbulent qualifying session in Monaco, shocked the paddock, not with complaints but with composure. Despite receiving a free-place grid penalty for allegedly impeding Max Verstappen, Hamilton chose not to place blame. Instead, he acknowledged the radio miscommunication and quickly shifted focus to the positives. His growing partnership with Ferrari race engineer Riccardo Adami. "The team told me Max was slowing down," Hamilton explained. "It happens, but the car felt great and I'm proud of the work we're doing." For a driver known for his emotional intensity and tactical awareness, this response marked a subtle shift. Rather than ignite internal tension, Hamilton used the incident to strengthen his narrative inside Ferrari, one of trust building and long-term collaboration. This wasn't just damage control, it was strategy, political and psychological, because in Maranello, how you react off the track often matters more than what you do on it. It all came down to a single sentence: Verstappen is slowing down. That message, delivered by Riccardo Adami during Q1 in Monaco, was meant to help Hamilton manage space on track. But the data was wrong. Verstappen was actually on a flying lap. Hamilton, trusting the call, moved accordingly. Moments later, Max aborted his lap, fumed on the radio, and the FIA launched an investigation. In previous years, such a mistake would have sparked tension, finger-pointing, or even a cold war between driver and engineer. But in this case, something unexpected happened. Hamilton didn't escalate. He absorbed. No frustration over the penalty, no rebuke over the error, just a quiet nod to the reality of racing and the trust still in development. Why does this matter? Because in Ferrari, public unity is often a mask. Yet here, Hamilton may be forging something different, a working bond built on accountability, not blame. And Adami, a veteran of internal storms with Vettel and Leclerc, knows the weight of a driver's silence. This wasn't just a radio error, it was a test of leadership, of maturity, of internal structure. Riccardo Adami has been through the emotional storms of Vettel, the outbursts of Leclerc, the indecision of Ferrari strategy. He knows when a mistake happens, it usually opens a crack wide enough for politics to rush in. But Hamilton, he sealed that crack instantly. No bitterness, no coded radio messages, no subtle digs in the media, just calm analysis and, surprisingly, praise. "We're building something here," he said after the session. "It's about communication, and we'll get there." In Ferrari terms, that's revolutionary, because for decades, the team has cycled through tension like tires in a two-stopper. Drivers explode, engineers retreat, and unity becomes PR fiction. Hamilton is doing the opposite. He's turning vulnerability into momentum. And Adami, perhaps for the first time in years, isn't just managing a driver. He's collaborating with a champion who understands the long game. After the session, Max Verstappen did something unexpected. He defended Hamilton. When asked about the incident, Verstappen made it clear the fault wasn't with Lewis, but with the information he received. "The team told him I was slowing down," Max explained. "Of course he moved. That's normal. It's not his fault." Coming from a title rival, this wasn't just a show of respect, it was an indirect critique of Ferrari. Verstappen knows how things work in F1. He's seen teammates thrown under the bus, and he's been at the center of political chess matches. For him to shift the spotlight off Hamilton and onto the team, that was calculated. And here's the twist. Ferrari didn't push back. There was no public defense of the radio call, no clarification from Adami, just silence, the kind that often masks internal discomfort. But Hamilton didn't fill that silence with blame. He filled it with confidence, a message to the paddock that he would lead through the storm. Verstappen's words gave Hamilton an alibi. Ferrari's silence gave him a stage. Together, they reframed the narrative. This wasn't a penalty story, it was a trust test, and Hamilton passed it with calm defiance. For years, Ferrari has carried a reputation: speed, passion, and chaos. Emotional radio calls, strategy confusion, public frustration. It was almost tradition. Drivers like Alonso and Vettel walked into Maranello dreaming of legacy and left carrying scars of miscommunication and missed opportunities. But Hamilton isn't playing that game. What happened in Monaco should have been another addition to Ferrari's archive of internal breakdowns. A miscall, a penalty, a moment of crisis. But instead of unraveling, Hamilton stabilized the narrative. He didn't just shield Adami, he absorbed the fallout and redirected the focus. By refusing to blame, he avoided the classic Ferrari trap: internal division becoming external spectacle. And that restraint is more than maturity, it's strategic. Hamilton is reshaping the driver-engineer relationship from reactive to resilient. He's not demanding perfection, he's building trust, quietly, consistently, intentionally. In doing so, he's not just adapting to Ferrari, he's reforming it. After all the confusion, the penalty, and the media questions, Lewis Hamilton stood in front of cameras and delivered a message no one expected. He didn't vent frustration, he praised his engineer. "The car felt great today. I'm so grateful, so proud. Grazie tutti." That phrase, short but packed with intent, echoed beyond the paddock walls. It wasn't just a thank you, it was a message. I'm here to build, not blame. In Ferrari, where emotional outbursts are often followed by subtle reassignments or internal tension, Hamilton's choice of words mattered. It diffused pressure on Adami. It protected the morale of the team, but more importantly, it marked Hamilton as a driver who leads beyond the steering wheel. He knew cameras were rolling, he knew the headlines were waiting, and he chose elevation over retaliation. That kind of control isn't just leadership, it's psychological warfare. In a sport where teammates crumble under stress, Hamilton just strengthened his internal alliance. And in Maranello, that might be the real secret weapon. Inside Ferrari, Hamilton's approach isn't just being noticed, it's reshaping behavior. Sources close to the team describe a subtle shift. Engineers are becoming more precise in briefings, communication is tighter. Even Adami, known for his measured tone, has taken on a new sense of urgency. This isn't coincidence, it's reaction. When a driver like Hamilton absorbs a penalty without public anger and still elevates his team, it sends a clear message. I'm serious, but I'm also loyal. Earn it. Ferrari has long struggled with the weight of its own legacy. Too many egos, too much pressure, and not enough cohesion. But Hamilton's conduct in Monaco offered something different, stability. And in a team as volatile as Ferrari, that's gold. This isn't about being soft, it's about strategic control. Hamilton isn't just managing races, he's managing culture. One message, one gesture at a time. The silence after Monaco wasn't emptiness, it was recalibration. Monaco 2025 won't be remembered for the penalty, it will be remembered for what Lewis Hamilton didn't say, and what he chose to build instead. In a paddock that thrives on conflict, he chose calm. In a team that's long wrestled with internal pressure, he offered clarity. This wasn't just a veteran reacting to adversity, it was a signal to Ferrari. The era of emotional implosions and public blame games doesn't have to continue, not with him. By absorbing the fallout of Adami's wrong call and turning it into an opportunity to reinforce trust, Hamilton established something more powerful than a fast lap. Authority. He didn't demand it, he earned it. And the team felt it. From here, every call on the radio, every debrief, every late-night strategy meeting will carry Hamilton's influence. Not just as a driver, but as a force shaping Ferrari's identity from the inside. So when we look back at the 2025 season, Monaco might not be the race that defined Hamilton's comeback, but it could very well be the weekend that started Ferrari's. And that's the kind of victory no penalty can take away.